Let's begin with the second module of this 3D printing session, Introduction to 3D Printing session. The module 2. Yesterday we have discussed what is exactly the 3D printing is, how the basic working of any 3D printing technologies goes. Then we have learned about different applications, advantages and disadvantages. Now today we are entering into the different types of printing technologies used. I will be discussing over here the three basic 3D printing technologies, FDM, SLA, and SLM. Now, what are their full forms, the working is, what are the advantages, disadvantages, what material we use, everything will be discussed one by one. Okay. During the discussion of each technology, I will be also talking about the materials that are used in these technologies. And then at the last, we will just learn how to sign up for Tinkercad software. Okay. So those who missed the yesterday's class, let me tell you, 3D printing or additive manufacturing, both the technologies are same. 3D printing is a technology where we build a 3D object using a layer by layer deposition of a raw material. Now that raw material can be in different form depending upon the technology and principle we are using. Okay, so what I am discussing today is the 3D printing technologies. Okay, so there are different types of 3D printing technologies available till date. Okay, there are many. So few of them are like as follows. First is the fusion deposition modeling. Okay. Now the fusion deposition modeling, we also call in short form like FDM. Okay. Usually everywhere you will see FDM is, it's always mentioned as FDM. Second is the stereolithography. Stereolithography, in short, we call it SLA. Okay. The third one is the selective laser melting. Okay, so today we will be discussing these three technologies only. Okay, these are the basic ones. Apart from these, there are also advanced technology, digital lighting processing, selective laser sintering, electron beam melting. Apart from these, there are also inject printers, 3D printers. Okay, so there are many technologies. This world of 3D printing has developed a long way. So for us, since we are building our basics, we will be discussing the first three methods, the first three technologies. What are their principles and what exactly happens in them? Okay, so let's start with FDM or fuse deposition model. Now, this fuse deposition modeling deals with raw material extrusion method. If in a layman's language I say the extrusion process, yesterday also I told you, it's like squeezing out the toothpaste. Okay, it's something like that. Semi-solid form of paste comes out the end of the tube. Similarly, what happens in FDM, we have a raw material in form of a plastic given in a filament form. Okay, over here, if you see, the basic component is consist of the rollers. Now this roller carries the spool of the filament. I will show you how exactly it looks like in real printers also, and also I will show you different types of spools available. So this filament, actually it is a thermoplastic material. This roller carries this filament and it directs it towards a system, nozzle system, which carries some heating coils. Okay. Now the inside it, what happens? This plastic, which is in solid form, is converted into a semi-solid liquid. And this is squeezed out of the nozzle. Okay. And by layer and layer deposition, our 3D product is formed based on the code given to the 3D printer. Okay. Now I will revise here again what exactly happens. First, we create a 3D model. Then we send that 3D model to the 3D printer. This 3D printer, what it does is it slices out the 3D model, whatever you have developed. It slices it into layers. Okay. And this slicing is sent in form of G codes to the printer. Now the printer head over here, the nozzle head is instructed to work according to the G code which has been sent by the printer. And accordingly, it will deposit the material layer by layer. Okay, so what exactly is happening? First, the raw material, which is plastic in form of filament, is fed through the printed head. Okay, now the printed head is carrying the heating coils. These heating coils heats up the material, and the solid phase of the material of the plastic is changed into semi-solid. Okay, now the semi-solid raw material is transferred to the print bed, right? Depending upon the G codes given or the instructions given to the printer in form of G codes. Okay. Now remember this over here, the nozzle head. Okay, I'll show you. So over here, what you see, these are the different types of filament. The filaments, these are the thermoplastic material, and they are available in different color forms. Okay, so you have many choices when it comes to FDM. You have many choices of the filament colors with you. Okay, and these filaments are actually fitted to the roller like this. Okay, I will show you a video, demonstrate a video in front of you, where exactly you will understand how this spool is fitted into it. Okay, so it is something like this, and it is fed through this nozzle printed head. Okay, this is the printing head, and it consists of some heating coils, which converts this solid plastic into the semi liquid. Okay, and over here, head, this head is moving in X and Y direction, and it's following the instructions and building up the 3D model. Okay, so if you want to closely look how this nozzle head consisting of extruder looks like, so filament goes like this, and it has some heating coils over here, and the heated material is directed like this. It is depositing layer over layer. Okay, now let's see actually how it works. Okay, now you can see these rollers. Now these rollers consist of the spool. I've showed you different colors of the filament spool that is fitted inside it. Okay. Okay, so now you see this is the two nozzle head. Okay, now this nozzle head, you can have more than one nozzle. Okay, you can make a part with multiple colors using these two nozzle head. You can also, I will tell you about a sacrificial layer, because there are sometimes the 3D objects which have some overhanging structures. So they required some kind of base that is removed afterwards. Okay, you will understand this later on when we will go to the slicing thing using the slicing software. You will understand how this sacrificial layer works. Okay, for now, if you want to make a product using two colors, you can just put two filament colors together in the spool, and with these two nozzle heads, you can extrude both the colors according to the given instruction of the 3D codes. Okay, just have a look. So this is two nozzle. Over here, the filament goes and it enters the nozzle head. Okay, this is the highlighted filament Okay, so this is the nozzle head over here. Okay, now how the filament is fed? It is fed with some driving wheels. Okay, it has both the nozzles have these driving wheels. Support material and built material, don't get confused by it. Support material actually means what I said, the sacrificial material, which can be removed after you have made the product. Okay, they are required to support your actual 3D object, right? So through one, you can pass on one filament color, through another, you can pass on different filament color, and it get liquefies in this section. This yellow section which you see, it liquefies over here, and the extrusion nozzle. Now see how the extrusion nozzle works. It feds it, and this way the two filaments is extruded in the semi solid liquid. Okay, semi liquid. And here you see how layer by layer the given 3D product is formed. Okay, this bed shifts downward, and as the layer deposits, it shifts downwards, and finally we get our 3D object. You see over here, and they will show you now how they are removing this sacrificial layer. Okay, this is not required in the end product, so that has been removed. And here is our final 3D product. What they are doing, they are actually applying coolant to it. So definitely it is, you are heating the material. So they are applying the coolant and finishing the, okay, just a minute, I'll show you once again. Okay, so yeah. So these type of products you can easily make using this FDM, fuse deposition model. Okay. Now, this fuse deposition modeling, there are some advantages and disadvantages. So the major advantage of this technology is that you can make products of any scalability, from large to small, depending upon the bed size. Okay, there is no restriction with the movement of this nozzle head. Okay, you can give large movement to this, you can give small movement. Okay. Second is the cost ratio. Since this is the, I can say whatever technology we'll be talking to it, this is the cheapest one. Okay. The cost to size ratio, it is the cheapest technology available. These thermoplastics are very cheap material, and the construction of this technology is really simple as compared to other. We will look at other and then you understand how simple the design of this technology is as compared to whatever we are going to discuss further. They are much complicated than this. Okay. Then you have variety of these color combination, exotic plastic materials are there. So it provides you advantage in this type. But majority of the cases, it is used for making this kind of rapid prototypes. Small prototypes, if you have to make, you go for it. Okay. Keychains, not toys, you can go with FDM, right? It is not exactly used in some industrial application. Okay. For prototypes, definitely it is used. It is, you can easily make cheap design copies with this. Okay. Now, also the disadvantage is that the quality of the product which is made from this is not of that high quality. Okay. Now, I will discuss further the other technology. They are much better in terms of the quality of the material, because what happens if someone says that you have to be very much precise, the layer thickness should be this much small. So this technology is not that much flexible in terms of that. Okay, so yeah, quality is a major disadvantage of this FDM technology. Okay, anyways, we are going to compare the advantage and disadvantage for all the technologies we are discussing today. Okay, so this was all about the FDM, right? So Next, we will be moving towards the stereolithography. Stereolithography, in short, we call it as SLA. Okay. Now, SLA is also known as optical fabrication type of 3D printing. Why? Because the layer by layer approach, layer by layer deposition is accompanied by the laser beam. Over here, we use a laser beam, okay, to get this deposition layer by layer. Okay. Now, let us talk about the basic component which this technology includes. It has a bed that is filled of resin. Okay, resin, if I will show you later, it is liquefied form. You must have seen epoxy resin like that. So in liquefied form, the raw material is resin over here. Okay, and this laser lights or scanner system is focused in the region of this bed consisting of resin, and this scanning is done according to the instruction given to the printer. Okay, now again, the working is same. You give the 3D model to this printer, it will slice it, and it will give instructions to the laser head and the scanner how it has to move in form of G codes. Okay, so it will instruct the scanner to move at particular location. Okay, particular location in the resin, and it will ultimately harden this resin. How the 3D object is made in this case, when the UV laser light is focused on this resins, it hardens. Okay, it has a property that it absorbs the energy. Okay, and through cross-linking of the polymer chain, it hardens. Okay, that particular layer get hardens, rest of the thing is liquid. The location over where the laser is traveling, only that gets hardened, and the rest is in liquid form. Okay, and this works on a bed that is moving down layer by layer. As the layer get deposited, this piston now bed you see over here moves downward. Okay, now what are the major steps involved in this? You have a raw material, liquid resin kept in the reservoir. You have a laser head. Now the printed head in the FDM is completely replaced by this laser head. Okay, and that has the capability of moving in X and Y direction. See, both the printed head in case of FDM also, and in this case also, they're allowed to move in X and Y direction. Okay, what is happening? The Z motion is given by the bed. The bed is moving down, 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 and it is causing the layer by layer deposition. The head is only allowed to move in X and Y direction. Okay, come to next. What happens? The laser beam strikes the liquid resin according to the G code. And finally, the material get fused into a 3D solid shape. Okay. Now, actually how it works, we will look in this video. So this is the machine from the Form Lab. Okay. So this is the 3D printer. Okay. Now the tray you are seeing in front, okay, they will just show you the tray where actually the resin is filled. Okay, they have opened the carriage of this. Now this you see, just a second, I'll show you the bed. The bed where actually the 3D product is made. Okay, so from here they will take out this bed on which the 3D, yeah, over here the 3D product is formed. Okay, and they will show you the reservoir. This yellow thing you see is a reservoir where the resin is filled. and laser light gets strike. Okay. So the 3D model is sent to the this printer, and this is the resin. I'll show you once again. This thing, this liquid which you see, yeah, this is you see, yeah, this one is the resin, epoxy resin over there. They are using it, and they are filling the reservoir completely with the reservoir. That okay. So as the laser light is passing, you can see they start getting fused, and ultimately they will be forming this 3D object. Now, what they are doing, they are removing the axis, non-required part from it, and ultimately they are getting this finished product. Okay. Now, the advantage of using SLA is that you get high resolution objects. Okay. The surface are really smooth as compared to what you are getting in case of fuse deposition method. Okay. They are really finished products. Now, where you can, if you see your mobile phones, the transparent cover, you can easily make it by using this SLA. Okay. In optics industries, it is used. Medical, you nowadays, if you have heard about those braces, transparent braces, so that is the very product of this technology. Okay. So these are the application where you can use it. However, the advantage is that, yeah, definitely you're getting high finished products with good properties. Okay. Now, the disadvantage is that there are limited materials available. You don't have much choices of material. There are limited materials available. And the cost of this machine is really high, right? You are using laser, then you are using this resins, epoxy resin, these chemicals that are using this composite material. These are really costly. Okay. Some are of low cost, but yeah, you are using the laser in this technology that automatically the initial cost gets higher. Okay. So biomedical dental application, it is used. I told you the in optics industries, it is used making transparent covers. Okay. These decorative items also you can use it, right? So this is about the stereolithography. Okay. Now, the third technology which we will be discussing is the selective laser melting. Okay. Now, the selective laser melting is also known as direct metal laser melting process. Okay. Now, the word metal itself defines that in this, whatever raw material we are using is in form of metal, the metal raw material. Over here in FDM, we have used the plastic in form of filaments. Okay. In SLA, the stereolithography, what we have used this liquid form of resins, right? Over here, we are using metal, but the form of that metal is powder. We are using powder metal form as the raw material over here, right? Now, similar to SLA, over here also we are using this laser light, right? We have the laser similar to SLA. What it does, it has a scanning system, and where this system consists of two sections of the bed. Over there, we had one section of the bed filled with resin, and laser light is focusing on the required region, and it uses this resin into 3D product. What happens over here? We have two sections over here consisting of two beds that are movable. One is moving upwards and another one is moving downwards. Okay. Now, what is the role of this upward and downward motion? See, this complete bed is filled initially with the powdered form of metal. It can be alloy of steel, cast iron, aluminium, titanium, nickel. There is vast range of metals that we can use in this selective laser melting technology. Okay, different alloys. Okay, that means this is one of the technologies where that can be used vastly in industries. If I say research progress industries, it is used vastly, right? So what we keep the raw material in the powdered form, okay, in both of the beds. These both of the beds is filled with powder. We have a recoater. Okay, over here you see it in circle form. I will show you actually how it looks. Okay, it can be in roller form also. Now this powdered bed, one is responsible for making the 3D object and the other one is responsible for filling this reservoir in a balanced plane. Okay. What happens when the laser strikes this metal bed, the metal powder bed, it melts the metal and fuses them together. Okay. Whatever location it is going, it is melting that particular powder metal and fusing them together in the required code given to it. Okay. Once a single layer is formed, this bed moves down. This roller travels from here to other direction so that this powder gets layered on over it. Again, the laser falls, again it gets deposited and it moves down. This rises up, takes the powder to the same level in the second section, and like this, it moves down, it moves up, maintaining the same level of the powder, and the whole solid product is made. Okay. Now, actually, we will see the animation and then we will understand how it actually works. Okay, let me just put down the sound. Okay, so this is the Stratasys company, which is showing you the demonstration of how they are making this small in the components used in industry. See, what is happening? The laser is striking at the particular location. It is fusing these metal particles together. Just have a look. See, according to the code, it is making the shape, and these are some of the end products which we are getting out of this technology. Okay, so layer of bed filled with powder. Okay, this is the laser striking, and you see how the products are formed. This is formed, and this is another example of the product we are getting out of this technology. The 3D file, they send it to the software in the printer. Now printer does the slicing like this. I will show you the slicing of Ultimaker printer, okay, in your third class, in the last class. From now, the last class, you will learn how the slicing happens, okay. So whenever you give a 3D file to any of the printers, it slices your whole 3D object in layer form like this. Okay, slicing layers. Now these instructions are then sent to printer, and over here you see this is the bed. Now this is the roller that is moving across the bed. See how it is moving. They are coding it, and see they have made one layer, and see how the laser is striking and it is balancing the level. This fusion process due to the laser striking. See. Now over here, it has formed one layer. See, they have formed one layer, it is moving down, and this bed is rising up. Now what will happen in the next turn? The roller will run and bring this powder over this layer. Okay, so they have been, this is rising up, this is going down, and they have bring this powder up. And you see again the laser strikes, it goes down, again that side comes up, and here is your 3D object which you need to build. Okay, so this is how you get it. And after the production of this 3D object, definitely you have to remove the axis material around it, and then you have to take it out, right? Okay, so you are getting out this product, and then they finish it. The unrequired part is removed and they finish it. Machining is, now this process required some post processing. Okay, they required some kind of machining, some kind of finishing is definitely required in this SLM technique. Okay, though the mechanical properties, whatever we are getting over here, is very much comparable to what we get after the conventional casting methods. This method is giving the strength same as that. Okay, but still it requires some kinds of post processing. Yes, this is a disadvantage. And yeah, it requires a little bit, if you can say, it is a time consuming process, but it ultimately, if you are making it and using it in for mass production, it reduces the production cost. So one way, the initial cost is high, but when you are going for mass production, this is an advantage of this technology. Okay, so rapid prototyping, mass production, you can make tool fixtures, different types of impellers used in turbines, okay, rotors, all these things that are directly used in industry, you can make the products from it, out of it. Okay. Also, the another disadvantage with this technology is that you require a precise powder handling. You don't need to waste the raw material. You should know how to tackle that powdered bed. Okay. Power usage is again, yeah, it's high in this process. But this, whatever product we are getting out of this technology, it's of high strength. Okay, now we will look at the comparison of all the three technologies which we have discussed. Okay, now the three technologies, SLA, FDM, and SLM. So now I can very much expect that if I'm speaking out for these three technologies in short form, you can understand it. If I say SLA, you know it's stereolithography, and you know what type of raw material you are using. Stereolithography, you are using some kind of resins, okay, liquid pipe form of resins. So there are different kinds of material used in different technology. One by one, we will see. In SLA, the principle is UV hardening. The laser is causing the hardening of the resins. Okay, so the principle is UV hardening. Right over here, these are the names of different epoxies used. Okay, this is acrylic, ester, BST epoxy, CNT, carbon nanotubes. You can use it. They are some nanoparticles. Okay, epoxy acrylite is another material which you can use for making different type of products. Okay, the advantage is that you get high resolution, no problems in nozzle clogging. Nozzle clogging will occur in FDM. FDM, where you are using this plastic filament and it is melting. So yeah, the nozzle requires some kind of cleaning. So clogging thing doesn't occur over here. You're simply using laser light and you're getting the products. Okay. SLA is a high cost and it has limited choice of material. Coming to FDM, I've told you, it is based on the extrusion principle. We use different type of thermoplastics. I've already shown you the images. Okay. And the different types of thermoplastic available can be like ABS, PLA, nylon, graphene, okay, ABS. So different types of these 3D thermoplastic materials you can use. Okay, this is comparative a low cost technology, high speed, Deposition of diverse material. Yeah, you have a diversity over thermoplastics. Different types of thermoplastics are available. Different colors, combination are there. Okay. Multifunctional products can be built out of. Okay. Now, the disadvantage is that the homogeneity is a problem. The material should be in the filament form. Okay, you can't use in some other form. You have to use in form of filaments only. Okay. Also, apart from these, what is mentioned, the finishing is not that much appropriate. Okay, finishing of these products getting out of the FDM is not that much finished. Okay, SLM is based on sintering process. Principle is known as sintering. Okay. Material, I already told you different types of alloy, high speed steel, aluminium, titanium alloys, stainless steel. You can use all these kind of metals in powder form. Okay. Then I told you the advantages, the mechanical properties are as much comparable to the what we use with the conventional technology. The strength is equivalent to that. Okay. And we have large choices of the materials available. Okay. Mass production, definitely we go with this technology. Disadvantage that it requires some kind of extra surface finish beyond its initial production. It also requires some kind of post processing. Surface finishing is a problem. Okay. Sorry. So after discussing this, what I will just share a short question into your chat box. All of you, please just go and attempt that, and then I will proceed with the further. I will proceed with Tinkercad. Okay, and okay, so I have received the response. Okay, let me discuss that. Okay, so first question was the base material that is used in 3D printed object by fused deposition modeling. Majority of you answered it correctly. Yes, in fused deposition modeling, we use filament. Resin is used in SLA, stereolithography. Powder bed, stereo, that's selective laser melting. Okay, so those who answered resin is for stereolithography. Okay, right. So next question was interrelated to that only. Which type of 3D printer uses pool of resin to create the solid part? SLA, stereolithography. That's the correct answer. SLM, selective laser melting. The full form is that. Okay. SLA printing uses a plastic strand that push through heated nozzle. Is it true or false? The statement is false for SLA. It will be correct if I have replaced this SLA by FDM, fused deposition method. Now the fused deposition method has this filament, the plastic, and that enters the heated nozzle and get deposited. The cheapest printer I told you, the cheapest out of this is FDM. Okay, so thank you very much for your participation. Still many are responding, don't respond. I got the answers. Okay. Now in this slide, you can see different type of materials. This PLA, polyacetide polyester, PLA is used in FDM. If you remember, in FDM, we have seen this material. Okay. I mentioned in the comparison this PLA and ABS. Now PLA and ABS, these are good for making low cost prototypes. Okay, these both are very much applicable for making low cost prototypes. Okay, these are less expensive, and yes, definitely when we compare PLA and ABS, ABS is having more strength as compared to PLA material. These are more durable. These are not that much durable. PLA is not that much durable. Durability is more for ABS. Okay, now this you see SLA resin. Resin are generally in form, you will see transparent resin or sometimes we use mixed type. So, resin is somewhat like this. It is in some liquid white form. Copper alloy and steel alloy powder you are seeing in front, this is used in selective laser melting process. The powder bed is filled with these metal powders. Okay, so how actually these material looks, I hope you have got an idea. Okay, now the reasons, it has high stiffness. Okay, these are transparent, and sometimes you can add some different chemicals to get some coloration. Okay, these the products formed from this resin, the SLA technology, are much smoother in finish. Okay, they are having much finish as compared to with what we are getting with other technology. The highly finished products we are getting out of this resin. Resin, this is the flexible material. Some flexible part you have to make, you go for this resin. You have to go with this stereolithography. They are tough, they are durable. Okay, so just go for it. That's why the braces for the teeth in dentals, they use this resin to make those transparent braces. Okay. Now the next what you see is the image from our lab. These are the two FDM technologies available in our lab. Students have just making them in the first year only, they have made different types of prototypes. You see in front of you, they've made lock keys, the engine component, inside the engine component they have made screws, nut, different types of logo. Okay, so they are playing with this 3D technology. So this is a small section of the our lab which you are seeing. Now let's talk about the CAD software, Tinkercad. So I will just share the link in the chat box. Okay, in the chat box I will just share you the link of this software. How you have to do it, I will just show you. Just check your software. You will receive a link, www.tinkercad.com. Okay, when you click on this link, a page will open in front of you like this. Okay, Autodesk Tinkercad. 3D printing comes under any branch. Okay, CSC, EC, you can go for it. No problem. Printed circuit boards, everything you have to go with electronics, you can go with that. Yeah, CSC, I think further courses would be more applicable, but you should know it. You should know 3D printing is for everyone. Okay. What about the foundation of 3D printer? Okay. Complex design. You are saying complex SLA, SLM, both can build complex design, but both complexities, if I say the case structure, SLA, stereolithography, 3D printer, can you make 3D printer at home? You can. Okay. Okay, just give me some time. Just let me finish with this Tinkercad, then I will come to that questions. Okay. So Tinkercad is a 3D modeling software. Okay. These sessions will teach you the basic of how you use different shapes to bring up a 3D model. Okay, we will do some exercise on that, definitely. Okay, what you will see when you see this page, you will go to join now. You will click on join now. Okay, and when you go over there, it will ask you to sign up. Okay, either you create personal account. Don't go for this educators and students joining the class. Go with the personal account. Create a personal account. Okay, software info. You can try, but I think, see, when you will work on software, you will require this bigger space because some alignment, precise alignment you can't do in the phone. Definitely you will need your laptops. So what you have to do, go to this page, create a personal account. Over there, they will ask you to enter an email ID and password. Okay. Either you can sign up with your Google email if you have, or you can use your parents' right account. So you can just sign in with your Google Gmail or some other email ID. You have to just simply enter the email ID and whatever is the password for that email ID. Okay. When you enter that, it will take you to this page. Autodesk, clicking on continue, you agree to terms and conditions. You have to click on continue, don't click on this. Otherwise, you will be receiving unnecessary, unwanted mails. Okay. So don't click on this, just click on continue, and here you will get started. So you see my name over here. When you will start with your email ID, you will see your name. Okay, so this is the starting page of the Tinkercad. And tomorrow we will start with some design and initially interface, how the interface works, right? Time taking depends upon the slicing done. We will talk about the slicing and the time taken, whatever it is, slicing time required, how much time it is required for printing. Slicing software gives you the time also. I will demonstrate that to you in your last class. The fifth class, which we will be having on 3D scanners. Before that, I will be taking you to this slicing software. Okay. Now, when it does, the software does the slicing thing, it automatically detects the time, how much time you are going to take. It depends upon the thickness of the layers you are making. No, in designing the Tinkercad, a very complex. No, it is not. Once you learn it, it's not. See, I'm taking very simple software with you. Okay, it is not. If it has been very much complex, I would not have introduced this to you, right? So Tinkercad, you will love it. You will love doing the 3D modeling on this. And don't leave the practice of working. See, I will have 2 sessions, but you can continue making more complex and complex shapes, right? When you will start learning this software, we will make some good 3D models and you will enjoy it. And maybe some of you will get so much interest that you can go for making some complex design daily. You can see whatever you are making in Tinkercad, that will be automatically saved in your login. Okay. You have your personal login over here, and whatever designs you are making, it will create all the designs over here only. It will be saved for you. Tinkercad is used for modeling 3D models. 3D models, you can design it, and this is specifically for 3D printing only. Okay. See, there are more good softwares available for 3D modeling. You can go with SolidWorks, AutoCAD. Okay, they are more complex as compared to this. This is the simplest one. We use it for 3D printing. Okay, that's we will see whether you are going to replace your games with this. Probably games have their own space in your life. Don't replace it. Enjoy the games also, enjoy the tinkering also. Link of the software I've already shared. That has been already sent to you. You can just go. I will, if you want, I can share it once again. The software link. Those who didn't receive it, please, when you come in your tomorrow's class, please just log into that. Okay, it's just the color of the filament in FDA, different composition. Yeah, definitely. ABS is having different composition. PLA is having different colors, represent different combination. You will see, I will use those colors thing, everything when I will demonstrate you the slicing process. You will see how the sacrificial layer is represented by different color. Okay, the filament colors is of choices. It doesn't, yeah, you have different combinations for different composition. We'll talk about this because when I will be demonstrating the slicing software, I will be using this FDM, Ultimaker FDM only for the demonstration of slicing. Okay, there I will exactly tell you. Closed shape and hollow shape, you can use any of them. See, but if you're going for FDM, for making closed shape, hollow shape, right? What you have to do, you have to apply a sacrificial layer that is removed after you have made this object. Okay. So you will, what I will do, I will just demonstrate that also, what happens when you make closed shape structures. Okay. 3D printing, yes, this software, what you have to do, ultimately you will export this in the .stl format. .stl is the extension, like whatever file you save in your Word document, if you see when you save it, you get .doc written over there. Similarly to this, you can export this file in STL format. Okay. You can use also Fusion 360 is another software which is used for 3D modeling. Okay. You can just use that software also to save with same extension, and you can just import it into the 3D printer. Okay. So there is no limitation with one software only. I'm taking an example of this software. There are many softwares available. FreeCAD is there. Fusion 360 is there. Okay. So there are a number of software. There's no limitation. Okay. What I'll do, I'll share my email ID in the chat box. It would be convenient for you also to contact me so that I can answer you. Okay, so you can go to the chat box. You will see my email ID. Computer, it is ending with CAD because it is a computer aided drafting. ABS is stronger. Computer aided drafting. CAD means computer aided drafting. Yes, all the printers Tinkercad can be used. No problem with that. Ultimately, you are making a 3D object and you are exporting it. How to log in tomorrow means how you will join this class tomorrow, you are asking. You will be using same link. Okay. Okay, ma'am, I think it's fine for now.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for such a wonderful session. Thank you everyone for joining for today's session. Tomorrow also same time at 5:30, we will be having the same class. You will, can join using the same link. I hope everyone got the attendance link as well as entered your attendance with that. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.